Millions of years ago, the Earth made deep, dark caves. They are cold, tight, and totally unforgiving. Normal people stay out. Professionals spend years training to go safely inside. But some guys see a muddy hole in the ground and think it looks like a fun weekend. Today, we explore the absolute darkest corners of human stupidity. These are the 7 dumbest exits from the underground gene pool. Sit back, take a deep breath, watch what happens when total arrogance meets a million tons of crushing stone. 1. Exploring a new place is exciting. Finding a hidden room in a cave feels like a real adventure. A guy found a small, unmapped opening deep underground. He wanted to be the first person to see what was inside, but he did not check the size of the hole. He did not test the angle of the drop. He simply put his hands down and shimmied headfirst into a steep, muddy chute. He actually believed his wide shoulders would magically shrink to fit the tight rock. Gravity pulled him hard into the narrow funnel, his chest wedged tightly between 2 solid walls of stone. He was completely pinned upside down in the pitch black. Blood rushed to his head. His body naturally swelled up. This locked him permanently in place. He had zero leverage to push himself backward up the slippery slope. He wanted to find a cool new room. He found his own custom tomb instead. The earth swallowed him whole and kept him. 2. Caves are completely dark. You obviously need a flashlight to see where you are going. A guy decided to take a long hike deep into a massive underground maze. He packed his bag and grabbed a light, but he only brought one cheap plastic flashlight from a dollar store. He completely ignored the basic rule of packing backup lights. He firmly believed a fragile glass bulb and a cheap spring would survive a brutal, rocky trip. He climbed over a slick, wet, underground waterfall. The plastic handle slipped right out of his muddy hand. It bounced hard on the solid stone. The plastic shattered. The bulb broke. He was instantly plunged into absolute crushing darkness. Human eyes cannot adjust to a place with zero natural light. He was completely blind. He crawled in circles on the wet rocks for hours. He slowly lost his mind in the total silence. He wanted a cheap, fast adventure. He walked willingly into a permanent void. 3. Looking at underground rivers is a popular cave activity. The water carves beautiful shapes into the rock over thousands of years. An amateur caver wanted to see these wet tunnels for himself. He drove out to a low-lying river cave, but he parked his car right in the middle of a massive roaring thunderstorm. A normal person knows that heavy rain flows straight down into holes in the ground. He completely ignored the pouring rain. He crawled deep into the narrow rock tunnels. He was totally deaf to the loud rumble of water gathering above his head. He reached the lowest room in the cave. At that exact moment, a massive flash flood violently breached the main entrance. A thick rock ceiling will never protect you from a rising indoor tide. The freezing, filthy water filled the tight tunnel from floor to ceiling in seconds. There was absolutely no pocket of air left to breathe. He wanted to look at cool, wet rocks. He booked a fast ticket to a very dark drowning instead. 4. Digging through a blocked cave tunnel takes a lot of hard work. You have to carefully chip away at the rock over many days. A frustrated explorer found his path completely blocked by a thick stone pillar. He wanted to get to the other side quickly, so he brought a heavy backpack full of homemade explosives underground. He actually thought lighting a massive bomb inside a tightly sealed stone box was a smart shortcut. He totally forgot that millions of tons of heavy rock rested directly on that specific pillar. He lit the long fuse. He ducked around a slight corner and plugged his ears. The explosion deafened him instantly. But the loud noise was not the real problem. The blast triggered a massive structural collapse. The entire stone ceiling violently dropped. It instantly flattened him under the weight of an actual mountain. He just wanted a wider tunnel to crawl through. He brought the whole roof down on his head instead. 5. Caves stay at a very cool, constant temperature all year round. A hiker decided to spend the night deep inside a dry cave. He wanted to escape the freezing cold night air outside. He gathered a big pile of dead wood to stay comfortable. He carried the wood deep into the main room and lit a blazing campfire. A normal person knows fire makes heavy smoke. He confidently assumed the closed stone cavern had an invisible, magical chimney to vent the exhaust. He built a massive fire in a sealed rock box. The roaring flames rapidly burned up all the clean oxygen in the tight space. The fire replaced the good air with a thick blanket of toxic carbon monoxide. Human lungs cannot adapt to breathing pure, burning soot. He comfortably fell asleep next to the warm, bright flames. He was entirely unaware that he was actively suffocating his own brain. He wanted a cozy night of off-grid camping. He quietly built his own toxic gas chamber instead. 6. Dropping down into a deep vertical cave shaft is thrilling. You get to hang in the open air and lower yourself into the unknown. A guy found a terrifying 90-foot pit inside a dark cave. He wanted to go down, but he did not bring any heavy-duty climbing gear. Instead of driving home to get the right tools, he grabbed a cheap nylon laundry rope from his trunk. He tied the thin string around a rock. He wrapped it tightly around his bare waist. He confidently stepped backward off the sheer cliff. A cheap clothesline is never a safe industrial braking system. The extreme friction of his heavy body sliding down the line instantly created massive heat. Cheap plastic fibers absolutely cannot survive that violent friction without melting. The nylon melted straight through in less than 3 seconds. The rope violently snapped. He fell entirely unattached into the black abyss. The sudden stop at the bottom was a very permanent reality check. 7. Cave exploration is a great hobby to share with a team. You help each other navigate the tight spots and map the tunnels. A confident guy drove out to a remote, empty cave. He wanted to test his skills, but he broke the absolute biggest rule of survival. He went entirely alone. He failed to tell a single person on Earth where he was going. He crawled deep into a tight, confusing maze. He forced his body into a highly restrictive rock tube just to prove he could do it. He firmly wedged his chest between solid rocks. He had no friends around to physically pull him backward by his boots. He exhaled, pushed forward, and instantly got stuck at the absolute tightest point. A cell phone will never magically get a signal through 300 feet of solid granite. He was hopelessly trapped in total darkness. He could not move a single inch. He died a slow, agonizing death entirely because his ego refused to let him leave a simple note on his kitchen counter. To ensure your next adventure doesn't end up as a terrifying script on this channel, hit subscribe and stay safely in the audience. Let me know in the comments which of these 7 underground disasters truly deserves the crown today. Until next time, stay smart, because solid rock does not offer refunds.